Hello and welcome to session 7, probably, of the Into the Wild campaign. This is a campaign that focuses on overland travel, featuring the Cinematic Environs books, basically to make my travel more interesting and less dull, make the overland trip worthwhile. And you can find that series of books on drivethrurpg, and I'll put a link in the thing. All right, so a bunch has happened. I'm going to try and recall the important stuff. You guys were traveling across the cursed desert, so named because things that die here are doomed to rise as undead, continuing to do the last task that they were doing when they died. You found magic is also kind of wonky. It's getting less certain when you try and cast spells. There is chances of spell failure now. You found and helped uncover a temple in the desert, and inside there was a lot of stone golems. You found an elf that was dead, apparently, although well preserved. You found a book that when you write in it, the writing vanishes. There was a goblet and plate that refilled, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You also found a ring. Remember, this temple had a giant sphere on top of it, was multifaceted. It was an icosahedron, and you guys, it was on the facet, shaped like a crystal. And from that temple, you got a ring, which is now on Kalen's finger and has affected him, turning him slightly stony, with a few other effects. And the ring seems to be permanently there. Later on, in a vision, Ku determined that your next destination should be a volcano, not far from his homeland, and that it somehow might be connected to the first temple. You encountered, day 8 or so, you encountered a sandstorm, and it came upon you very quickly. Scrambling for shelter, you found a big hole in the ground and climbed in. Some camels, 3 camels in fact, were lost. Kalen bravely tried to save them all, but the storm was pretty powerful and luck was against him. And you managed to stake down, secure at least 5 camels. You're not sure of their status. You entered this hole. You guys guessed it to be from some large burrowing creature, as it goes right through solid rock. The hole is about 15 feet in diameter, fairly smooth. I'm going to show you a map in a moment. Inside you found some bones, which you determined to be the bones, 3 bones there were toe bones of a giant in here. You also found a large pile of poop in one room, and in that same room you found 3 large coins, like the size of big coins, and there was also a silver short sword that had a very long hilt that you surmised was probably a silver dagger for a large creature. The hole that you came down is now solidly plugged, and you went looking around for an exit. You haven't explored everywhere yet, but you are looking for an exit, and there's the map I was trying to find, so I'll share that with you now. Okay, and we're going to go around, and I'm going to have you guys describe your character a little bit. I believe you guys were around here when we stopped.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a big scale, so here to here is like 500 yards or so.
Yeah.
All right, so I got Alec B first. So tell us a little bit about your character and what you think about what's going on. You can faintly hear the sandstorm still howling above.
I am playing Pay Right Map. She is a cartographer who is trying to make a map of the whole world. Right now, she's a little bit unhappy about being stuck down here, but on the other hand, she's pretty eager to explore. She's had a lot of fun wandering around, and yeah, she found a little dagger that was ginormous, and now she doesn't know what to do with it.
Okay, so at this three-way, you guys sit. The only light is a pool of light coming from your lanterns, and beyond that, darkness, smooth rock. So, Kaylin, tell us a little bit about how you look and maybe what you're thinking about this situation.
Yeah, Kalen is looks much like you see on the screen there as far as his general appearance goes. He wears a long kind of brownish coat. His face his head and face is still sort of wrapped in his clava, but his skin, which was once kind of a tan, darker side sort of skin, olivey, is more gray now and cracked and nothing really like it used to be. He is a tallish human still, if he can be called that, considering his metamorphosis. But he is sort of just currently, as we're sort of sitting, waiting, kind of thinking about what our next things is, still sort of staring at his hands, and kind of turning them over and looking at them with kind of a very sort of focused interest.
Allbold is beside you. And then we have Vicus. So Vicus, as I said, it's dark above you to the left and right. There's just this small puddle of light coming from the lantern. Up above, you can hear faintly the sandstorm still going.
I'm playing Vicus the Jack. He's a elven kind of tribalist and live on the outskirts of the town near Kalen. And excuse me. And right now he's because there's tons of sand in and around his clothing, especially in his shoes. And grateful that Kalen made it down into this warren, I guess. Vicus is quite a bit paranoid that whatever lived down here, whether it was a giant or a creature or what have you, is going to surface and to then run back out into that sandstorm. And making that choice is neither choice is good. So quite a bit nervous about that. Oh, and I'm exhausted.
Okay, and finally we have Ku. I don't know if your particular dwarf is used to spending a lot of time underground, but you are now. So what does Ku think about this?
So it's not something he's used to, spending a lot of time underground, but it is something that before his mother took the position of priestess out in the village he's from, it's pretty normal for a lot of dwarves to sort of grow up in this underground warren near the volcano, and so that's where he has his reputations about this tunnel. It seems like this could be a tunnel of something that's a much larger version of the worms that he's used to, and he knows from past experience that those worms have a saliva that they're capable of eating away rock. So you can let your imagination run wild on what you think it can do to flesh. But nonetheless, they have to press on. There's a larger calling and a much more important end result that he's after, compared to the chance of running into a giant worm or even some sort of underground giant down here.
Okay, so you guys have explored to the right that small area is where you found the poop and the coins and the silver short sword. In this flat part in the middle is where you found the bones, the 3 toes. That little jutting up, literally going on an up angle. You haven't explored. You haven't explored all that yet. Light. That's just as far as light's penetrated. You went down here. You found a huge cavern. You threw a coin, which landed somewhere down here, and you heard it go tink, tink, tink. You also saw a bit of a tunnel running off that way. That's above the ground anyway, because the wall continues below it.
I thought I crawled up in that area and it dead-ended.
Nope.
Wait, which one? I thought that dead ended too. That was
Yeah.
Okay.
I went up there with
Okay.
the lantern.
All right. Okay, hang
Yeah.
on. Let me just give me 1 second then. I wasn't sure how far you guys had gotten in the map. I'm going to give you another picture.
oh, cool. Yeah, because he crawled up there and it turned out to be like caved in or filled with dirt or
Right.
something.
Okay. I had forgotten that. So here we go.
Okay.
There's the updated version. So yeah, it's plugged here, it's plugged here, and it's plugged here.
Okay. Okay. And we didn't go across the other one, right? That big cavern.
No.
No, you just, as I said, from there you just kind of threw a coin. You never saw the bottom either. At least it's more than
Yeah.
30 feet.
Well, well, we have to decide if we want to explore more or if we want to rest for the night. We're going to be awfully tired soon.
I think we're definitely going to rest.
We can find perhaps a more defensible position. I wouldn't recommend the poop room.
Yeah, I could use a rest too, but for some reason I just can't sleep. So
I know.
I'll keep watch.
Well, you should try and get some sleep if needs. I have a little bit of herb on me that could help if you're help you sleep if need be. Not much, but should be enough to help you rest if you think you need it.
Okay. Every little bit will help in this situation, because I'm afraid we are invaders on whatever lives down here, or whatever used to live down here.
Did anyone take make any kind of examination on the Puda to get an idea of like how old it was? Someone with maybe perhaps better wilderness skills than I.
No.
I will tell you that it looked fairly recent, but
Okay. Yeah, I think I might have asked, and I don't recall if there was any way to tell, like, get a sense of whatever made this. What does it eat? What did it eat to make that? Like if like owls and certain animals, you can kind of tell, their diet, or bears, you can kind of tell their diet by what they excrete. So I was,
all right. Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to go back and examine it, I'll let you make a medicine check to see what you can learn.
Yeah, I might as well. I'd rather have at least maybe an idea of what we could be facing.
So just keep in mind that little thing. It's about 15 feet down from that lip.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's the pile of poop is on the bottom.
Okay. Well, we'll just set up a rope to lower ourselves down here. We have a little bit of that. And do you need me to make a climbing check for it? Or is it just?
No,
Okay.
that's fine. You're lowering
All
a rope. It's
Yeah.
pretty easy. I mean, it's not far.
Yeah, so I'll just go down and I cast a light spell.
Okay.
Do I have that? Yeah, I do. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I flick my hands open and produce this light spell.
Okay.
And I just keep doing the palm of my hand. I don't bother on anything. And I'll start to like kind of look at it. I'm not going to touch it or anything like gross like that, but I will take out like my knife and kind of prod through it a bit.
So make me a medicine check.
Sure.
I'm going to give you the better you roll, the more knowledge kind of thing. It's a knowledge
Gotcha.
check. So.
Yep. Not a bad roll. What's my? I don't know what my medicine is though. Medicine 3. So 19.
All right. So there's bits of bone in there.
Okay.
Tiny bits of cloth, perhaps, like long
crap.
strands.
Yeah.
Bits of stone. And it's
Not
a large pile.
That's not good news for any of us, really.
It's a large pile. Like the pile's about the size of a horse.
And a horse? Oh, not
the pile of poop is about the size of a horse.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Not a horse. No.
Not a pile of horse would leave, but an act the size of that horse. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, and it looks like it was all deposited in one movement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll climb back up. I don't want to yell in here just in case there is something to hear us. So I will scurry back up, pull the rope up, and I say, well, not really good news for any of us.
Perhaps the others smell you coming before they see you coming.
Yeah. I say, whatever the beast is that haunts these holes, it eats flesh and stone alike, which doesn't bode well for any of us, I'm afraid. And I kind of hold up my hand.
I was gonna say, especially not you, right? Since you're both.
Yeah, right. Exactly. One stop shopping. It's also relatively fresh. Probably within the last day and a half, perhaps. It's hard to tell down here. Things it's cooler. The water probably doesn't evaporate as quickly. So it could be a little bit older than that, but not much. In other words, it's not ancient.
What you're saying is whatever left it is probably still living here.
We could hope, and it's a thin hope, I'll admit, that whatever left it was out foraging for food when the storm hit, and it's not able to get back here. Because if it was trapped in here with us, that could make it even worse because it has no place else to go for food. Would your companion be amiable to perhaps exploring a bit further on in the cavern?
I mean, you can ask her if you want. I'm not going to tell her to do it.
Fair enough. Fair.
It's a little dangerous.
It is. That's fair enough. So I turn and I clear my breath. I clear my throat, and I start to talk, and then I kind of realize and reach into my pouch, take out a bit of fur, mess with it, chew on it a bit, yeah, and then with a little flourish and a little cough of magic, there's a little extra spark, perhaps that kind of shoots out as it happens, and I speak fluent owl. I say, would you mind terribly exploring a bit further on? within the realm of safety, of course. I don't want you to get injured or worse, but we do need to know
Okay,
if
you're gonna have to dumb your speech down. You can speak owl, but it can't speak human.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like just talk in simpler terms.
You go deep, find danger. Huh?
Okay, so I'm gonna have you make an animal handling check, and if you succeed, it will agree.
Animal handling. I am proficient in that. Hopefully enough. 15.
Okay, all right. So it flies off.
All right.
Before it leaves, I tell it not to go too far.
Oh, and I when
Can
I was
you be
talking,
less subjective with what too far is?
Nope. I'm gonna leave that entirely up to Phaedric to figure out.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, when I was speaking, is it a he?
Phaedric is female.
Oh, female. When I was speaking to her, I also informed her what a good and noble creature it was, and because it sort of gave it the feeling of that it can do this, and I give it inspiration.
Okay. All right. Inspired owl.
Hey,
Okay, so
it's a D6. Might make all the difference.
it goes flapping off. You hear the flapping for a little bit, and it goes out of earshot. You guys can take a long rest if that's what you're intending.
Yeah.
However, by the rules of D&D, you're going to have to spend a while, like it'll be several hours, and then you can have your long rest because it wasn't a full day yet. So.
Yeah.
So that's no problem. I'm not saying you can't do that, but that's what's going to happen.
Well,
so
we're probably going to wait till the owl comes back anyway, and we're probably going to eat and things like that. So yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
So while the owl is gone, are you guys having your setting camp at that three-way where the entrance was, or?
I'm gonna suggest we go up there. There's that little edge that went up, and then there's the two cap things. There's nothing is up there. Nothing's gonna go up there because the places are blocked.
Yep. Keep in mind that's straight up, right? So.
Well, we're not gonna go up the hole. We're gonna
just up into the. It's hard to tell from the map because the map is 2-dimensional and we're looking at 3 dimensions.
Right, but think of this almost as it's almost dead on accurate vertically.
Right. I just want to go up, just right up, right there. Well, just.
So like this was the flat spot where you found the toes, right? This is literally like it's smooth, but this is literally like it goes up on an 80-degree angle there, and this goes up like on a 90-degree angle, that kind of thing.
I just want to go at that intersection and sleep up there.
Yeah.
So
like,
here?
Right there. Nope. Down.
Nope.
Here.
Right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just up on top, yeah.
Yeah. There's a little climbing involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do it.
All right. Yeah. We're all fairly sturdy individuals. We can make it.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, we'll go go down there and get that process started, and get us all up onto that little ledge.
Okay, so just keep in mind it's about 300 yards from there to there.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk, you get up there. The owl has gone fluttering off. Now it's going to be a little tricky for me, but I am going to make a roll, and I can't tell you what for because you don't know. And
then why are you telling us about it? You're torturing us.
Okay, because there could have been consequences. So, all right. So you guys get your camp set up. You start preparing food. Again, even though you have this light, it's kind of eerie. Like it's black all outside this puddle, right? And it's pretty quiet and echoey in here. At that depth, you can't hear the sandstorm outside.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you hear flapping come back, and it flutters, and I don't know how it converses with you, but it's squawking and freaking out. It's like right in front of your face. Yeah, freaking out. Flap, 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 flap.
Well, I ask it what it saw.
Big bug.
Oh,
Big bug. Okay.
Did it follow you?
Yes.
Getting
However, we would say affirmative. Doesn't know that now.
Yeah. All right. Just let us know if you relay this to us, because we don't know yet.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Squawk, squawk, squawk.
I actually can speak telepathically to my owl, but yeah, I'm gonna there's giant bugs.
Yeah, but it doesn't speak telepathically to you. You get me? It's like you can hear its thoughts, but it can't project thoughts to you. You get me?
Well, I mean,
it can speak to you and you can understand. You can still. I'm just telling you how it happens. And mechanically, it's still exactly the same.
Yeah,
that's all.
All right, so bugs plural.
Well, that's what I said. That might not be what the bird said, but that's what I said.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's my character's asking you. Bugs. All right. Well, I suppose there's nothing for it but to wait here and see if they arrive. We should be ready, though.
Okay. So you guys just continue to cook supper?
Yeah, I mean,
let's not cook anything.
Yeah, maybe not.
Let's eat cold food.
Probably a good idea. Although I will kind of like go over to the edge there, kind of like lay on my belly, and hang my head like over the little lip there, and
okay,
and I want to put an ear out and see if I listen to hear if I hear any scratching.
Make me a perception check.
Yeah. Ah, crap. That was cocked. Okay. 13 plus 6 is 19.
So I'm going to see you hear like a rumbling sound, maybe a crunching sound.
Is it getting closer?
Yeah, listen. I'm trying to. I'm listening for a little while to. Okay.
Yes.
I say with a dry mouth. I say it's definitely getting closer. Prepare yourself.
So you can start to feel faint tremors. All
right. I'm going to take out my axe, and I'm going to sort of. My thought is I'm going to sort of like stand in this opening, because if this thing is going to come out, it's going to come out from underneath us, and I'll be get an attack on these things or thing from above, and maybe even manage to surprise it. I don't know.
So you're climbing down off the ledge?
Oh no, I'm on the ledge, but I figure this thing is going to pass underneath us, right? Okay. Based on where it's going to come from, I'm kind of assuming that it will have to come out of that passage, and
okay.
I'll be above it, and,
okay.
and hopefully that will give me some kind of
okay
advantage against it.
What is it? Was anyone else doing anything?
Did we have a short rest while we were up here, or no?
Oh yeah, you would have walking is a short rest.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Any non-strenuous activity for 5 minutes is a short rest, or 1 hour. I mean,
1 hour. Yeah.
I feel the.
Go ahead.
The tension that the rest of these guys are talking about something coming, but some of the communication is. I can tell the tension is building with them, and Kayla to pull a weapon out is dangerous. So I'm going to pull my short sword, and well, where's the danger coming from? What do you think it is?
Everybody can now feel the vibrations.
I say it. I say I don't speak out loud, but I point down and like kind of down and underneath, like, you know, down that passage.
Okay.
And I kind of lean into him. Big bug or bugs? We're not really sure.
I know to stay quiet. I nod, pull my scarf over my face, and draw my short sword, and and crouch down, waiting, kind of like listening really hard and feeling a rock, see if it's moving or if it's going to come through one of the tunnels or something like that.
Okay. Ku?
So at the mention of the bug and with Ku's fear of what these things are, he's familiar with how you fish for them for the little versions, which is, you know, you dangle something in the hole and you tap on the rock because the little ones sense vibration. So he's got himself up onto if we're looking at your map here, he's flattened himself against one of the walls, hoping that whatever's coming is not as large as this hole, but is remaining like deathly still. Like if you weren't paying attention, you might even pass over him from lack of movement.
Okay. Pei, did you want to do something? You started to say something and stopped.
Yeah, Pei is going to grab some shadow and make armor for herself again, and then she's gonna like get near where Kalen is, and not completely sure what she's gonna do. She's picturing strange bugs, but she's not really sure what to expect. She's not completely convinced they're necessarily gonna try and kill her.
Okay. So the ground beneath your feet starts shaking more and more violently, and then it erupts into rubble. It turns to nothingness. 3 of you are going to fall, but I'm going to let you make dexterity checks to see how you'll land. Ku, you're going to have advantage on this roll. Being against the wall, you're going to have much more of a lip to be able to stand on, so you get advantage on this check.
All right. He says dexterity save, right?
Yes.
Awesome. I like those. 15.
I don't.
18.
I got 13.
Okay, so
Yeah.
DBJ.
20 total. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, the save was a 10. So everybody who made the save takes 3 points of damage, with the exception of Ku. If you made your save, you take none.
Yes.
The other three of you are down. You've fallen now about 15 or so feet, and are kind of down on below where that lip was. That's now much more, rounded lip. Where Ku is on like a little bit of wall that's still left there, a bit of curve he's kind of backed into.
Rob, could you throw your mouse over your screen real fast and just show me where I'm standing? I'm so sorry.
Yep, no problem. That's not a problem. Let me just switch to it.
I was doing that goofy thing where I had my mouse on the screen. Like, I'm right here. No one can see this.
Yeah,
okay.
You can't see that, right?
So you guys were all, you can see this hand, right?
Yes.
You guys were all right about here?
Yeah.
So now 3 of you have fallen, because this is shattered into nothingness, rubble.
Okay.
So 3 of you have fallen to here, taking a little bit of damage. You're also prone. Where Ku is kind of like right here where this was, because he's sort of in the curve with his back into it. Okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so let me describe this thing to you. It's not really a bug. It is a 4-legged creature, very short legs, each that end in 3 large claws. And when I say large, like each claw is as large as Vicus. Its head is a cross between a clam and a shark, and it looks like it's made of stone, and stony teeth line its huge maw, which sort of protrudes from the front of it. Yeah, you can see bits of rock falling from its mouth as it lands beside you. And I'm gonna have everyone roll initiative.
Is it within 30 feet of me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna telepathically yell at it to stop.
Okay, well you're still
Awesome.
gonna have to make an
Yeah.
initiative roll.
That's fine.
All right. 12.
14.
My text box is falling apart. I didn't get very high. 5 plus something. Let me just find the stats. Yeah. So I got a 6. So 12. Alex Pay, you said 12?
I said 14.
No, he's
Sorry.
14. I'm 12.
Okay. Kaylin is 12.
Yep.
And Vikas and Ku?
All
What was your
16. Like,
And the 13 for Q.
Okay, so I'm going last. All right, so it's Vikas, you're first. So you're prone. This thing is about 10 feet beside you. Its jaw is big enough that it can engulf you whole. What do you want to do? Yes. What do you want to do?
well, I'm not going to let it go after my friends. I'm trying to get into like a 3-point stance with my short sword, and I grit my teeth and kind of like I growl subvocally, and I'm going to try to jump at it with like a 2-handed hold, like one hand over the other one, ice pick style, and try to stab it.
Okay. So yeah, you have only
now-
half your movement, but I mean, unless your movement is less than 20 feet, you're fine. Because it costs half your movement to
Okay.
stand.
Exactly. Now I'm going to open myself up to attack so that I get a better attack.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I have a. So in other words, like I'm just doing like an all-out attack, like I try to like
Okay.
stab at it and hope they can't get past.
This
me.
is a barbarian thing.
Which
Yeah.
Okay.
I gain advantage, but during this round, they get an advantage to attack me.
Gotcha.
So,
Go ahead.
right. So, boom, roll, and I rolled a 10. And we gotta roll again.
Yeah.
Ooh, 16. Sweet. 16 plus 2.
It's a hit.
Nice.
18.
It's a hit. Its
Kill it.
shell is very hard, but your sword manages to puncture it.
Sweet. All right. Let's roll some damage. 3 points total.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you jump up and you kind of stab it in the sort of top of its jaw, and it's swinging its huge maw. Chomp, chomp, chomp. I believe Pei is next. Oh, sorry. Did you?
Oh, well, I don't have the rules in front of me. Slight note: do I have to be enraged to use the barbarian all-out attack?
I don't know. Read what it says in Barbarian. I don't have it memorized.
Yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
No, it's
Well,
your turn.
I have
Someone
it
else
on
can
the-
look it up.
I have it on the app, and it just says you gain advantage on strength-based melee attacks by granting advantage to attacks against you for the round.
Didn't know
Okay.
you wouldn't have to.
Okay. Do I get any kind of response when I tell it to stop attacking?
Okay, so that's what you're doing as your turn. It says, what are you doing now? Is this magical or?
Yeah, it's telepathic. I don't need to share language.
You're just saying stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you get anger. It seems angry and possibly hungry.
Well, I tried.
Unfortunate.
It's hangry.
It's
Yeah.
You can still move or?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up
Yeah.
and I'm gonna back up.
All right. So Pei gets up and runs past you, Kaylin.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, it's Ku's turn first, then it's yours.
Yeah. Okay.
So Ku, you're not
I'm-
quite above it, but you're above it.
I'm actually going to yield my initiative to Kaylin. Because is it possible?
all
To
right.
drop, oh, I knew it used to be possible. Is it possible to drop initiative in?
Well, no. You can
You
hold your
can't.
action.
There's no
only
delay in 5e.
Well,
Right.
you can only hold your action for a
according to
specific.
Merle's.
Well, you can hold your action for a specific thing. Like if you say,
There's ready in action, but there's not
Right.
delay in action.
Right. So there is no like. It sounds so stupid. There's no reaction action, right? I can't say if it does this, then I will act.
Yeah, that's readying an action.
Gotcha.
Right.
you can do that. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yes.
So do you want to take an action now? You can.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to leap off and attack it.
Okay.
Sorry, my internet's being really glitchy right this second.
Apparently. Really glitchy because we lost him.
And to prove it,
As evidenced by. All right.
he
Well,
comes back and says, "See,
do you want me to do my thing while he's?
yeah, he's not gonna kill it."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, you never know. All right. Yeah. So obviously, I let Pei go around me, and I push forward to stand next to Vicus. My hand is still glowing with the light spell, and so as I sort of arc the
Is big.
huh? Yeah. As I sort of arc the axe through the air, the shadows all shift wildly as my hand this light source is kind of like moving violently around with my axe swing. So, I'll try to kill this thing.
Okay. Yeah, your torch is now your lantern is like lying on its side, kind of cracked and sputtering.
Oh, I was using light spell in my hand.
I know, but there was a lantern burning. I'm just saying that's
okay.
the state of the lantern.
Ah, gotcha. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know whose lantern. Okay.
My lantern.
Oh, okay. You didn't want that, did you?
I mean, a little bit.
So
15, 16, 17.
17 is what you need.
Okay.
He has an AC of 17.
And I'm using two hands, so it's
All right.
versatile. So I'm gonna
Extra D2.
We're talking an extra 9 points of damage this thing takes. So yeah, so I can the blade
sword in it. So even though your blade bites into it, you can feel that it's a very hard shell. It's almost like chopping stone.
Yeah. So I watch the sparks kind of as it rakes across the carapace.
Okay.
All right. I think is Steve back?
Ku.
Yes, I managed to come back now. I don't know what's going on with my computer tonight. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to leap off and attack it. And as I do so, I will I'll yell to Vicus. Vicus, slash at his throat when it reaches for me. And so what I'm doing is the Battle Master. I don't remember what it's called, but honestly, I'll tell you what it's called.
Moves, right? Those battle moves.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's the one that allows someone else to expend a reaction to take one melee attack.
Nice.
Yep.
So that's what I'm doing as I jump off and attempt to smite it with my attack as I land on top of it.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, Rhaegar was a battle master.
Yeah, I just can't remember what it's called. But at any rate, it's going to be 20 to hit.
Yeah, you need a 17. That's a hit.
Okay. And dice. Can someone roll 2d6? Mine are falling on the floor somewhere.
I mean, I got it.
It's perfect.
I got a 5 and a 2.
How it works? So 7, 8, and so it's gonna be 8. You can re-roll the 2.
I got a 6 that time.
All right, so 14 points of damage regular, Rob, and 12 points of smite damage. So 26 points total, but part of it's physical,
Wow.
part of it's radiant.
Nice.
Okay, so you're attacking with an axe? Is this an axe?
No, it's my great sword, my katana, my great sword.
Okay, awesome.
Only
So your
weapon I have
katana cleaves like a furrow in part of its top jaw. As I said, it's kind of like an oyster mouth almost, but it's sort of like made of stone with 2 eyes sit at the back, and your katana cleaves deep into it. But the creature is angry and furious right now, and it's going to snap back. And I've got 3 people to choose from. So, Pei, I have good news for you. You're not being attacked. For the other 3 of you, I'm just going to have you guys roll a d20 each, and the low roll is the guy I'm going to attack.
All
Yeah.
right. 14.
19.
Nice.
Oh, 1.
Oh no.
Okay, seems fair.
It's about right. And he's got advantage.
Well,
He gets advantage on the attack.
Well, I was gonna say, did Vegas? Did you take your attack too? Because the whole point of
Yeah, you guys all heard it. He did 3 points of damage.
Oh,
I took my attack.
Oh, I'm
my
sorry, I missed
maneuver
that, actually.
is my attack.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
His
okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Make your attack.
Ku's maneuver
You can
allows him
attack
to
first.
make a free attack.
Yeah. So Ku just did a maneuver that gives an ally a free attack.
Yeah.
So
So you get 1 free attack
you
on
get
it.
that free attack. So just take a regular
Oh,
attack.
before.
Yeah, before this.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, so regular attack, 14 plus 4, 18.
Got it. Damage.
There you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
And,
guys can just do it all at once and tell me if you do damage.
And that's 4 points.
Okay. So with advantage, I managed to roll a 19, so it bites you for 30 points of damage. Chomp! Huge jaw snap.
Ooh. Ow.
3-0 that was? Are you raging yet? Because you really should be.
Right, because that would have been half damage.
I wasn't because I figured I'd kill it.
Well, it figured it'd kill you, so we'll see who's right.
It ate a giant. It ate a giant.
Right now, my money's on the big bug creature. But okay.
So, Vicus,
Wow.
it's your turn if you're still able.
Okay, so this thing chomps down on me and like does a dinosaur like shark grab and like toss and shake, and I'm like kind of a shoulder and part. I'm assuming it's big enough to nearly swallow us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If I'd rolled a crit
Okay, so it
instead of a 19.
yeah, it's close. So it grabs me around my shoulder, like it does like a semicircle through my chest area, and kind of like rips me up, and I'm like, ah. And of course, in which case, whether I wanted to or not, I'm enraged now, and I'm going to try to like use my elbow and beat away from it, and I'm going to try to roll out of its grip and recover with my blade in my hand and get ready for the next attack.
You are out of its grip. It's not part of a grapple. It was just a severe bite.
Right.
So it might have had you briefly grappled, but
yeah.
But you're
Probably
not now.
tosses me to the ground or something.
So you're going to counterattack that you're playing?
Yeah, I'm going to counterattack.
Go for it.
I grit my teeth. There's like blood coming out of my dripping down my arm, and advantage on the attack. Still doing it. Wow, double sevens. 11 total.
No, your sword bangs off its hard shell. That's bad luck. With advantage, the best you did was 11.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
All right.
okay.
You can move. Do you want to back away?
Well, then it will get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
That sounds suicidal.
Oh,
Yeah.
does that operate that the same way in 5th?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, as a full action instead of attacking, you could
You
do
can
like a sort of a
disengage.
safe retreat, disengage.
Yeah.
But you
Right.
chose
Right,
to
because
attack,
disengage is an action in itself. In
It's
and
a
of
full
itself.
action,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
they would get an attack on
you
your
retreat
back
5
if you
feet.
retreated now.
yeah, I would get an OA.
Yeah. So best to stay there.
All right.
It's safer.
Okay, just giving you the option. Pay. So you saw Vicus almost get killed in one shot there. And this creature, while has several wounds in it, still appears pretty strong.
I briefly consider running away, and then I remember there's nowhere to run to. So instead,
Yeah.
I'm going
It's
to...
likely it could catch you, too.
I'm going
Yeah.
to cast Eldritch Blast. The room gets slightly less dark as I pull darkness into my hand, and then I'm going to throw it at him.
All right.
I just rolled a 20, so...
Nice.
Okay.
How do your crits work?
So max damage, like whatever you would have rolled, assume you rolled the max, and now roll your damage as normal.
And add them now.
And then just add the max die number. So you count your bonus once, but your max die value once as well. Plus
Well,
your
I rolled a 9, so I got a total of 19 force damage.
Just give me a total. Okay. So tell us what that looks like, please.
Well, like I said, I literally just pull a piece of shadow off of nearby, and I harden it into my fist, and then I throw it at him. And it smashes right into that area of jaw that was damaged, and clips into him.
Okay. It actually shakes it visibly, but it does not stop it. So
I
Ku.
am going to telepathically yell at it to run.
Okay, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to make a morale check. No, it's going to stick around, at least for now.
Can I roll intimidation check?
No, you can't intimidate it.
Yeah. I mean, the only one that might have had a chance was Vicus, and it's probably doesn't stand that chance now.
Yeah, Vegas probably lost his street cred with this thing.
Right.
You guys leave me alone.
Ku.
All right.
Don't pick on the
So
barbarian.
I am. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to attack it again.
Okay.
This time I'm using Wrathful Smite, which is a bonus action. But
Sure.
so taking my swing at it with the great sword. Yeah. So I rolled a 19, so I'll hit it.
Yep.
It needs to make a Wisdom save.
Okay. Let me just look up what its whiz is. Whiz is 10. Plus 0. I got a 7 on the die.
All right,
So
so
7 plus 0 is 7.
it will fail. It it is frightened of me until the spell ends, and I can maintain the spell for up to a minute.
Okay. Did you do damage to it? with that?
Yes. It's
Okay.
the damage on that. Can someone roll 2d6 for me again? Sorry.
I'll let Pay do it.
Yeah, 2d6 and reroll ones or twos.
Oh, okay. 5. Do I reroll ones if I roll a 1 again?
I doubt it. So I'm
Okay,
gonna say
then
no.
6 total.
All right. So it's gonna be 7 plus 4. It's gonna be 11 points of damage between the spell and the attack. So it's
Okay.
4 points of psychic damage if that matters.
Okay.
And then
So
it's frightened of
frightened.
me. Yeah. It has
Okay.
in order to not be frightened of me, it has to spend its action to attempt to save.
okay. So in any case, it's not going to do anything until its turn.
Right.
So Keelan.
Okay. I'm horrified as I watch Vicus get this bite. and I move up behind him, and I'm watching him rage, his shaking, his foaming at the mouth, and I put my hand against his back, and I'm going to impart healing into him.
Okay.
And let's see. So there's a momentary glow of this bright blue light that fills the chamber. Nice rolls. You get 15 back.
Oh wow!
And my face is like right next to his ear. It's like, this is what you were made for. You can take this. You can do this. Kill it. And I give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Ooh, sweet.
So
And then I even got to kind of give him a little push forward, almost not like shove him, but kind of like
get in there.
Yeah. Kind of
You before me.
I'm kind of
exactly.
like Rocky's coach in the corner. Come on, Rock, you can do this.
That's it. Yeah, you can do this. So the creature
Punch the meat.
kind of crouches slightly, and then with blinding speed, it jumps backwards, like just shoots backwards about 30 feet,
Hey,
and then starts burrowing into rock.
Was Koo still on its back? Or?
No.
No,
okay.
I imagine when I jumped off, like if it had been a normal creature, my sword was stuck into it, and I'd have been able to be on its back. But it probably just like sliced into it and grinded with a horrible, like shrieking sound as I fell to the ground.
So you could hear this grinding, rumbling sound getting more and more faint as it burrows a new tunnel.
It left?
Yeah, it leaped backwards. It's got a 30-foot leap, and it's burrowing into the rock. He frightened it.
It's a knee trying to dig after it.
Does its leap not provoke attacks of opportunity?
No, it could
It can pull a draw.
it could probably disengage just like we can.
No, okay.
Because it didn't attack, so.
I'm like, and I'm like, I like had my sword in my hand. I'm using one hand to go after it. It's useless. I drop the short sword, start digging after it, and I'm just like,
Isn't it digging an actual hole that we can follow?
It is, but it's moving. It's moving fast. Like it's fast. It can move through this rock at pretty good speed. Yeah, you can chase it if you want to.
I'm gonna chase it and
Yeah.
shoot it with
Oh,
more
hell yeah.
blast.
Okay.
Okay,
that's my kill.
I look at them
You
chase
know?
after it, just as I'm kind of preparing myself to not chase it, and
Not sure why you're chasing it, but okay.
to kill it.
Because it's gonna come back and kill us in our sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
not thinking that logically. I'm thinking about the fact that this is my kill. I'm feeling pretty good now.
Yeah. I kind of imagine like Vicus and Pei both tearing off down the tunnel, and Koo and I just kind of like turn to look at each other like, oh. It's like, okay.
So you guys
We'll follow.
chase it. You guys chase it for a while, but you realize that it can burrow through rock faster than you can run through these tunnels.
Okay.
So it just gets further and further and further away.
But my spell has a range of 120 feet. I feel like I can shoot it a couple of times.
Yeah, but that's assuming it's in a straight line and you can still see it, which you can't. Plus, there's darkness.
Yeah.
It didn't go in a straight line?
No, it's probably
No,
none of these tunnels are straight.
it gets away, or
Okay.
it runs away. You guys made it run away.
All right.
I'm thinking it burrows through rock like a fish swims through water. Probably it's like or like a worm, like or ants or something.
Mhm.
It just there's not a.
I just kind of shout to Vicus, it's gone. It's gone.
I throw the sword down and like beat my fist against the wall. Like
I kind of wince at that. Easy. I just fixed
then I kind of swoon.
I just fixed those.
And I'm still a little amped up,
I
even though
I kind of count your blessings.
think
If
it's
it attack again for another 30 damage, that could have killed Vicus.
yeah, it probably would have killed me.
I'm gonna check out my lantern. Is it pretty badly banged up?
Yep.
I'm gonna wait for them to come back to me because I'm not chasing it.
All right. So eventually, I'm assuming they come back.
Yeah.
Maybe they just
Yeah,
leave
we-
in frustration. I don't know.
No, we
I'll
can
follow
walk them
this
back
thing
up.
to the end of the earth. Call me Ishmael.
It's got to sleep eventually. I'll catch it. No, I'm gonna pick up my lantern, and if it's busted up, I'm gonna cast mending on it.
Oh, there you
Okay. Yeah, a use for mending. Okay.
Yep.
So the glass kind of mends and
go. Nice.
You say use for mending? I always pick mending.
so
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're just gonna have to refill it with oil now.
Yeah.
The oil that was in it spilled in.
Well, I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna pack it away because apparently this guy can cast light. I don't know why I'm wasting my
Yeah.
lantern oil.
Well, light's limited. I mean, it'll give us a little light.
Yeah,
in
it's
a
not as
small
good
area,
as a
but-
lantern.
Yeah, but I kind of look at him at the lamp and say, my old master told me a way we can distill poop into lamp oil. If you'd like to give that a try,
You guys and your poop.
takes a number of hours, but what? Everybody poops. I read a
Guys,
book on
Everybody
that
has a
once.
fecal fetish.
Hey, poop is really valuable in the desert. I'm telling you.
You guys are disgusting.
This seems extremely silly.
Yes.
We almost
Okay.
died.
Yeah.
I'm kind of investigating my wounds now that I realize that they're not bleeding, but they've got that, like, they're not scabbed yet, but they've got their, they're red, but they're not, scabbed over, but they're not bleeding or anything. And I'm kind of like investigating myself, realizing
And the two of you, like children, chasing after it with sticks.
I'm also going to say you have a permanent scar from this. That was a big bite.
Yeah.
I was a dead man walking.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
would-
first of all, Koo, I am a child, and second of all, I don't have sticks. I have magical powers.
Keep laughing. Next time I won't send it away.
I've got sticks.
I'm not. Okay. You're so temperamental.
You're so ridiculous. It nearly killed him
Yeah,
in one bite.
which is why we should make sure it doesn't come back.
With what? What is your plan? Chase it into its home? Deeper?
Look,
what?
it's gone. Let's leave it at that.
Koo, stop being a bully.
Hey.
Not chasing it anymore.
I suppose there's no point in climbing back up there. Let's go up to the flat area and we'll camp there for tonight, I think.
I bow my head to Koo and kind of like shove my shoulders down, like, because I think he's right. All right.
Screw that. I cross my arms at Koo. Koo's a jerk. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought
All right,
that too.
So I'm gonna walk up back to that flat area, and I'm gonna start building a new camp there. Not much to build. I help Albul down from the cavern where he was sort of like I sort of imagine like curled way up at the far end of that.
He was further up, like
Yeah.
than where it crumbled. He just kind of stayed up there.
Yeah, so I kind of help him down and say, well, old bold, it's going to be a long night, I fear.
Another one, sir. Very good.
So
I wonder if the camels will survive the night.
Well, fate will give us what it gives us. And all we can do is make what we can from it.
Not if that sand turtle gets to him.
Sand turtle? Oh, the
sand turtle.
The thing we just fought? Oh.
Yeah, it's a sand turtle.
Okay.
It was a bug.
Bug?
Phaedric said it was a bug. I'm pretty sure Phaedric knows what it's talking about.
Bug. It's more of maybe a crab if you want to stretch it, but
Phaedric had never seen one of these before, so it took a guess.
Nope, Phaedric
So-
is right. Phaedric is infallible.
So, yeah. So I begin setting up another little camp, and I guess at this point, I don't think this thing is going to come back anytime soon. I will actually I'll start making. I'll make more of a fire. Now, what was in this flat area again? Wasn't there like a table or something like that? Or I don't remember.
What? There's no
What-
furniture in here.
No furniture. But there were stones that were. What was in this area? Again? I don't
Toes.
remember.
Yeah.
No, I know the
Um,
toe bones. Was there anything else?
There's also some coins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna arrange the toe bones in a circle to make a little fire pit.
Do you have 3 of them? But okay.
Yeah. Well, just kind
Make a triangle anyway.
A triangle then. Yeah, that'll work. So I'll arrange these in a triangle, and I will maybe I'll go back and get some of that poop. That burns pretty well. not pretty smelling, but it burns. Yeah. So
It's not particularly cold.
No, it's more for the morale aspect of it. You know, being able to see and you know.
Okay.
But either way, I'll just
Fine.
for now I'll just cast light on
Okay.
on a stone in the center of the bones and
Now, you guys can have a long rest here. It's
Yeah.
not going to be maybe the most comfortable, as you don't really have most of your sleeping gear with you.
Right.
But it's certainly quiet. You don't got to worry about poisonous things biting you like you would if you were sleeping on the surface.
right.
You're actually probably going to be a little bit warmer tonight than you would be on the surface. You're a few hundred feet
That's true.
underground.
What do I have that we could? I mean, so I'm going to take off my coat and my clava, and I sort of fold my coat over to make it into sort of like a little mat to lay on, and then I ball up my clava to use as a pillow, make it as comfortable as possible at least.
Okay. You guys
And,
can set a watch if you want, unless you have exhaustion. Then I'm going to say you can't watch. You can't take a turn.
It's a
You
good
need your
question.
full rest.
I think.
Well,
No.
The entire time they're talking
Um,
about resting, I'm protesting while my eyes are closing and I'm starting to nod off and curl up against the wall.
Okay.
I'll take the I'll take the first watch. And kind of sit against the wall. I've been hurt and I'm still exhausted. I really haven't had a chance to rest, even though I don't particularly want to admit it. So I'm like one of the first to nod off.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna sit down and break out a pipe and put a little bit of the tobacco I have in it, and just relax for a bit. And I kind of sit down next to where Pei is, and I say, that shadow armor you fashion. You tell me a bit about that.
Well, everywhere you go, your ancestors are watching over you, and my ancestors turn into shadows when they die. When I die, I will also turn into a shadow, and I'll watch over my descendants.
Well, what about the mechanisms? And I'm kind of picking her brain about, like, you know, how she draws the energy from the shadow, and you know, trying to get a feel for what that's like, you know. What is it, you know? So maybe probably end up talking to her maybe like half an hour to an hour, just, you know, asking about, like, well, when you draw it in.
Pei's going to say something probably is going to upset you. Pei's going to say, "Have you ever asked for your mother to hug you, and then she did? It's just like that."
Right.
Out of character, I happen to know that you didn't have a good relationship with your parents, but in character, I've got no idea that might be a sore spot.
Yes. It's like, oh, thanks. Thank you for your insight. Yeah. I kind of go back to thinking and smoking my pipe, and occasionally you'll see me just sort of like playing with a little arcane energy. It looks like every now and then I'll be moving my hands, I'll be thinking and I'll be trying it again, and you might see this little kind of like tiny little flare of light as I do it. But I spend the evening before I go to sleep doing that.
Okay.
Do you look super upset?
What's that?
I said, does your character look upset?
He did it first, but now he seems intent on focusing on this. He seems really focused on what he's doing, and just before he goes, decides to lay down for the night. You see, he moves. He finally pulls his arcane energy over his hand, and you see for a brief instant the sort of like translucent, almost like a little glove, like from over his hand, and he nods with some satisfaction. Yes, and then sits down. Out of game, I took the feat Magic Initiate, and as a sorcerer, and I for my first level spell I took Mage Armor, so I'm sort of experimenting.
Yeah. Listen, with regards to mechanics, you don't got to, unless I ask you, I don't want you to justify it mechanically. I trust that your character can do it. Just describe to me what we see. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
You know the armor class is 17. I don't need to know your hit roll or anything. Just tell me I hit him for X kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
What that looks like. Okay. So I'm just saying, like, don't feel you need to inform me. Just say this happens, and I'm
just having fun with the character.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys spend the night, and it's quiet, very, very quiet, all night. You recover 2 hit dice each, regain 1 level of exhaustion, and all your hit points.
Nice.
Question: can I meditate on the coin to see if it's magical?
It is not. However, that book that you've had for a while, so you think that you have an idea of how it works, but not that knowledge doesn't tell you why or what its purpose is. So what you do know is that writing that gets written in here is then sent away, kind of like a message spell, to another location. You don't know who or what that is, but that is how this book functions. So that's why it appears to always be blank.
Well, I wrote a message in it. Did anyone reply?
Nope.
That's fine. I'm going to just meditate on my coin and find out it's not magic.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
So you guys have a slightly uncomfortable evening.
I don't think we bother setting a watch, only because if this thing comes back, we're gonna feel it long before it arrives. By the description of the vibration, I don't think we're gonna sleep through that. So I'm not too worried. It has
like a train approaching, eh?
Yeah, it has kind of its own built-in alarm system.
All right, so it is morning, and what do you guys want to do? You didn't get attacked during the night or anything.
That's good news. I'm gonna walk up to the to where we came in, and kind of grab the rope that's hanging from the hole and listen.
You don't even see the rope anymore. It's all sand here. It's all just filled in completely.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
you could dig away at it, I suppose, but
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be a lot of digging.
Oh yeah.
Like hours of digging.
You're talking about up towards where we left the camels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a better picture. There's one tunnel you haven't explored that you know of.
Yeah.
Well, we could try and dig our way out, but I don't think we can dig upwards enough to get out.
Keep in mind that's like 50 feet, 100 feet.
Yeah.
Like the time it's going to take you to excavate that, you might run out of food.
Wow. We could magically excavate it pretty quick. It's just it would kill us.
Not saying you can't. I'm just saying this is what the undertaking will be.
No. So Ku is just standing behind everyone as you're sort of looking at it and maybe even futilely like scraping away a handful of sand.
Yeah, and like it's pretty hard packed.
Yeah.
Seems more so the higher it gets is more hard packed.
Yeah.
This is not the way for us.
Well, up is the only way I can see going. There was no. We're not high enough on a mountain or a hill for down to be effective.
Well, down might go back up.
There are 3 exits here. It is reasonable that there will be others elsewhere.
Hey, Ku, why don't you pray to your magic bull? Maybe it will tell you where we should go.
You recently walk a very dangerous line.
That's what your magic bull says?
No, that is what my sword says.
Now, let's not turn on each other.
Yet.
Why don't we descend further then and see what we can find? We have some supplies, but we're going to need to get to the surface soon, or we'll end up eating bugs very soon.
If you guys had like sacks and shovels and mining carts, and it's a lot of dirt to excavate, and it's doable. It's just a big undertaking.
I mean, there is magic that can be used to do it.
I mean, look.
It's up to you guys.
I mean, looking at the map, I mean, we could, we have that whole, the tunnel is down and to the right with the big open, cavern.
Poop room.
Yeah, we basically have a place to put the sand.
Right.
Yeah,
but how big
around
is
the
the tunnel?
500 yards, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
How
just
big
saying-
around is the tunnel?
You got to carry that by hand?
No.
Like, I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's just, I don't know if it's doable before you run out of food or water, without shovels, without carts. That's all I'm saying.
How big around is the tunnel?
About 15 feet in diameter, roughly. 15 to 20 feet varies.
So on average 15 feet, and we've got 100+ feet of sand. So 1,500, 4,500, 6,000 cubic feet of sand. That's a lot of sand.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know, somewhere in like the 30 metric ton range probably. Like that's a lot of sand. Well, we won't starve to death. We can eat the sand, which is there. It is. We either go down, or we risk burying ourselves going up.
Down it is, I suppose.
Neither one are very good options.
No. But damn. All right. Let's get moving. I start picking up my stuff, shaking my coat off, getting reassembled, and
This sand turtle, it leaves waste, so that means it has to eat and drink. So if we can find, and I'm sure it hunts on things on the surface, so there has to be an exit. Maybe?
Well, there is a good chance we could find water at least if we go deeper. Some sort of cistern or natural cistern or underground, water source. As far as food goes, and Pei doesn't see this, but for an instant my eyes sort of flick to the owl, but they don't linger.
Tastes just like chicken.
I don't know if the owl saw it, but I made sure Pay didn't see it. So
Well, did the owl see it? Because
We'll call that Plan B.
you see the owl's eyes widen slightly, like what?
who? What?
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah. So I guess I'm going to cast light on my axe on the
Okay.
blade, and
Okay.
because I'm at this point with this thing with these with this thing down here and who knows what else. I'll be walking with my axe out at this point.
Okay.
And we'll start heading deeper.
Can you?
Okay.
You can cast light on more than one thing, right?
No.
Nope.
If you cast on something else, it instantly negates it, dispels the other one.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's just a cantrip. I really miss continual light. That was an awesome spell. I love that one.
Thought it was 3rd level, and you're using light as a cantrip here instead
No,
of
I
a
know.
1st level spell. So you have
I
that.
know. Yeah, no, I know. Actually, I thought
Used to be a 1st level spell.
Actually, I thought it was 2nd level was continual light.
Continual flames, 3rd level.
Okay, that's what it was. Anyway,
So-
so unless anyone has any objections, we press
You're-
down.
Both right. It's 3rd level for clerics, but it's 2nd level for sorcerers.
So yeah, and I was thinking 1E anyway. When you get to this cavern, your light extends for 30 feet, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So
20.
it's dark beyond the 30 feet.
Ugh.
20 feet. You did at one point pitch a coin like to the far side, and you heard it go
Yeah.
tink, tink, tink.
All right,
Well, if you cast light on this arrow that I'm carrying, and we have Phaedric fly it across,
I could just cast light on him, on his feet or something.
yeah, if you can cast it on people, then yeah, sure.
There's him. I can't. So yeah, so I'll cast it on her foot, just so it doesn't blind her.
Okay, I'm not sure you can cast on the living objects, but I'm not going to fuss with it. It's fine. You catch on the collar on her then.
She doesn't wear a collar.
Okay, whatever. Moving on. So, fine, you do that, and you guys are like, as I said, it kind of ends and it's a drop off here.
Yeah. Well, why don't you have her fly around? Just make kind of a circuit around the cavern, so we can at least get a vague sort of idea of the shape and size and all that stuff. Because we can watch the light as she goes, and just sort of map out the basic, like I said,
Okay, sure,
size and shape of the place.
sure. Okay, let me just show you this then. The cavern is only slightly larger than what you can see. There's a bottom is below that. There's a little dip that's directly below you guys that has water in it. And you can see that the cavern running off from the other side is about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet off the ground, something like that. Let's see if I can show you kind of a different picture. Slightly larger picture. I only have so many partial maps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's okay.
So yeah, anyway, if you can just picture that as is, but slightly bigger. So that room is, here, I don't want to give you all the details, but I can't. Yeah, I can do that. All right. So what are you guys going to do? How are you going to deal with this? So here's kind of a tiny, are you seeing a tiny picture there?
Gotcha. How far is it to the bottom of the
About 50 feet.
Oh, 60 feet. Yeah, okay. I see.
50,
All right.
60 feet, yeah.
All right, that's not bad. Okay. All right. So I guess I'll get us set up to descend with the climbing gear we have.
So how are you going to do this exactly? Like,
well, basically, put the way it's done is I'm going to put a piton in the into the stone at the top, and
Okay.
then essentially like double up the rope, so it kind of loops over the piton, and so
Okay.
that way you climb down on both ropes, and then you can just pull one side down, and the whole thing just so you end up with the rope. You lose a piton, but you get to keep the rope.
Now, so answer me this honestly: were your pitons on your person or on a camel?
Well, we had the climbing gear. It's the climbing gear is like a kit. We had two climbers kits. One was on one of the camels that was lost, and then one we were using at the time because we were descending into here.
Okay.
So we
All
lost
right.
one section of rope, but we still have more rope. So we're
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough. So you guys can set up the piton, you loop the rope,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have you make me climbing rolls
Sure.
to descend.
Okay.
So everybody roll me a dexterity roll. It's easy because you have rope, so the DC is only 5. Actually, that's a very easy. But yeah, 5.
Yeah, I rolled a 10. So
So unless you're clumsy,
yeah. No, not that bad.
all right. When you get to the bottom, you can see that this small pond of water it's not quite clear, but it's almost clear. It's opaque enough you can see through. It's about 6 inches deep, roughly. There seems to be a square at the bottom that's about maybe 3 feet across by 3 feet across.
That doesn't.
It's not quite. It's just kind of like resting on the bottom, not as if it's part of the bottom.
That doesn't look natural. All right. Well, I'm gonna I kind of hunker down and I'm gonna take a little bit of the water in my hand and I kind of smell it and touch it to my lip a little bit, see if there's any kind of smell, taste.
Slightly stale water, maybe
Okay.
slightly minerally.
But nothing, no nasty smell or anything of death or anything like that. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
So I'll go a bit further and I'll take just like a little bit of my tongue and kind of sip just the tiniest bit.
Yeah. It's a bit irony, like minerally.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. That I've drank worse, and it's better than urine. So, all right. I say we should drink up now. Don't touch the water in your bottles and for now, and let's hydrate. And how deep is that square?
Well, the water's about 6 inches deep. The square
okay.
seems to be resting on the bottom. It's about 3 by 3.
Okay.
So are we going to
The
ignore
whole
that?
pond is about 8 feet across or 10 feet across.
Okay.
It just seems to be like a natural depression in the rock that's filled up with water.
Yeah.
Maybe this used to be maybe a crypt or over the years, maybe sand covered a building or something. Entryway.
I don't know.
Catacomb.
I kind of I'll kind of reach in with I'll kind of reach into
With
the water
Albalt's hand.
Yeah. no. I'll try to move whatever it is. See if I can pick it up and see if it's heavy or
Yeah,
light or whatever.
it's a little heavy, like maybe 10 pounds total, but you can pick it up. Seems to be a metallic square, about 3 by 3. Are you going to retrieve it, or are you just seeing if you can lift it?
Yeah, no, I'll pick it up. How thick is it?
Maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, somewhere in there.
Just
probably close to a 1/2 inch thick.
A square sheet.
Yeah, it also seems you also notice some faint runes along the edges.
Oh.
Not the sides, but like on one side along the edges.
I say, well, Pay, this looks like it's up your alley. And I kind of, hand it off to her.
It's 10 pounds, but you can hold it.
I'm gonna look it over.
By the way, Rob,
yes,
I did not retrieve our rope yet. It is still secured. It still goes up to the top. I want to check the other side before I realize we're stuck down here, like it's dead end or something.
Okay,
You know,
sure.
I don't leave us without a way to get out just yet.
So, Pay, I'm going to have you make me an Arcana check. This is a knowledge roll, okay?
All right. 17.
Okay, so it's definitely magical writing, but it's magical symbols you're not familiar with.
Right, that's fine. I'm going to tell. Okay, so Pei says, it's magic, but I don't have the time to study it right now. It will take me a while to decipher the runes.
I kind of nod, expecting that. I say, that's fine. Just one more curious mystery of this place.
I tell you that if you have like a few minutes, I can try one thing to figure out what it might. I have one thing I can do that doesn't take as long, but it's less promising.
Yes, if you want to stay here by the rope, we can go check the other side of the cavern, and if you want to take the time, that's fine.
All right. As a ritual, I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What does magic look like, right? It's definitely a magical object, and the runes activate it. But I don't think magic writing is like a language per se. It's more like hieroglyphics that enact magic, right?
Right, but if there's a command word and the command word is written there, then I would,
That's true. Yeah, if there was something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but would you recognize it as a command word? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all right. So, I'll say you see a command word. Tiga.
All right. But the writing, there's no writing that might hint at what it does.
No. But you could spend time with it, or identify spell. Or...
I don't have the identify spell.
Okay, well, just time then.
Yeah, I have to do it over a long rest, right?
Yeah, or yes, that's correct. 24 hours too, right? It requires attunement.
Well, if it requires attunement, then I have to attune.
No, I'm just saying it's 24 hours. It's one day. Go with me.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just trying to move us along. Okay, so the cavern is about 100 feet wide. It's square-ish, but it's obviously natural in shape. You don't. The only evidence you see of this burrowing creature is the tunnel you came out of, and the one on the opposite side, which it says is about 15 feet off the ground, and it's kind of on a slight angle at the entrance, and then it goes sort of flat.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make. I guess I'll go across, and come wants to go with me. Come on.
So someone could boost you up, I suppose. As I said, it's about 15 feet off the ground.
I'm following close to Kaylin because he's probably going to get himself in trouble, and I'll boost him up.
All right.
Okay.
By the way, I'll just have all bolts stay with Pei.
So everyone else is staying in the cavern, and you're going up the tunnel, Kaylin?
Yeah. No. Actually, I'll reach my hand down and I'll pull Vicus up with me.
Okay.
Is Ku? Are you coming with us?
I can. It is okay either way.
Yeah. So we're not going far until we're not going far without Pei or Albul, but we'll take a quick look.
I can cast this ritual while I walk if you want me to come with you.
Oh. Well, sure. That would be even better.
Are you retrieving your rope?
Yeah, I guess we will. We could, in a pinch, I suppose we could always have the owl bring the end of the rope up there and loop it around the piton again.
Hurry! I hear them coming.
So yeah, I'll go back and I'll retrieve the rope till Pei and Albo that were. We can
Okay.
get up the other side. We're
So-
moving on.
So 4 of you get boosted up, and another one gets pulled up into
Yeah.
this tunnel. With the light running, as I said, it's dark. The slopes gradually upwards, and then the angle starts to increase more upwards.
Mhm.
And you get to a point where it breaks into 2 directions, one which goes up and one which goes sort of horizontally from your position. So
Okay.
one tunnel becomes 2, one going up and one going horizontal.
I pause for a moment. I look sort of absent-minded as I sort of take out my pipe. Push in a little more of the tobacco, and I use a little spark from my fingers to light it, and I just sort of puff at it thoughtfully for a moment. But what I'm actually doing is, as I blow out the smoke, I'm kind of seeing if it goes in either direction. See if
Okay.
there's an air current, because the air current would pull out.
Yes. That's excellent. So make me a perception check.
All right. Oh, that's nice. 22.
Okay, yeah. So it definitely drifts to the upper tunnel.
All right. So, this way looks good, and I kind of nod towards that. Any objections?
No. Wonder why you took the time to get a smoke, but whatever.
It's mysterious. Yeah. So if no one responds in the negative, I'll start.
Okay.
that way.
So you have to do the sort of climb and boost thing again, but that's
okay.
it's not a
it's
significant height because one's going up, right, and the other one's kind of going horizontal. Like
okay. I didn't know if it was a slope up or if it was a jump. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, but there's a gap. There's a gap because it's literally the rock has been eaten away. But anyway, you can do this. It's just the same methodology with the boosting and pulling up. And as you guys continue up the tunnel and you're walking for hundreds of feet, eventually you the tunnel starts to get a little brighter, and then you start to smell fresh air.
All right.
Yes.
So, all right.
Maybe, yes.
Yes, maybe.
And then after a short while, you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
All right.
I saw that twice today.
Yeah, right. This is the good one, though. Yeah, so we'll resist the urge to like run to the edge, I guess. But
okay. So as you make your way towards the exit, you can see that there is some sand here, but not much. It's just like maybe 6 inches to a foot of sand. You're just kind of walking through, and you come out into the bright desert sun again. The heat beating down upon you. You look back in the direction. This would be east, where you entered, and it's about a half a mile away. And you can just see a big pile of sand from this distance.
Yeah. I immediately wrap my clover around my head, shading my eyes and protecting my head from the sun. What time of day is it? I'm guessing it's probably
I'm going to say noon.
Maybe? Noon time? Okay.
I'd say noon.
Okay. So I'll I don't know how far we were. So I'll wrap my clove up, shade my eyes to avoid the blindness, and protect myself from the scorching heat.
Okay.
And, I guess I suppose we should go back and check on the beasts and see what we still have.
I don't relish the thought of being in this bright sun yet again, but all right, let's go.
You're welcome to go back in the cave, but I wouldn't recommend it. It was a nice change of pace, I suppose.
So you guys are heading back to where you entered?
Yeah.
Okay.
March
So
up
you
sandbank.
you guys march across this hot sand, and you're quickly reminded of how hot it was, and you think about the shade you had when you were below ground.
Yep.
And this whole area, remember, was a flat plain that was holes. Well, it's all just sand now. You no longer see that rock. However, you had 5 camels. So I'm going to have you guys roll a d20 for each camel to see if it survived.
Okay.
So Alex, you're keeping track of the camels. So camel 6, 7, 8 are gone.
Right.
This is 1 through 5 now. So.
Yep.
So. So just call it a number from 1 to 5, and then call it a die roll.
Okay, I'll take care. I'll take care of 1. 14
roll for 2.
So he survives. So you see a camel, like just kind of his head sort of poking out of the sand. He's got a sort of a. You had them kind of linked together.
Yeah.
So you can still see the links in him running into the sand.
Yep.
Who's rolling for number 2?
I rolled for number 2. I rolled a 6.
Okay. So there's tugging on the sand, and that a second camel like pops its head up. So camel 3. Someone?
I got a 12.
Okay, so the line leading from camel 2 ends, it's loose on the other side, like it's broken on the other side. But camel 3 comes trotting up to you.
Nice. Okay.
So camel 4?
Let's see. Camel 4 rolls a 9.
Okay, so camel 4, you can see that it's barely got its head above the sand, and it's like spitting out sand and snorting. And camel 5?
The last one. 12.
Okay, so camel 5 also survived.
Okay.
I had a DC set at 5, so all right. So camel 5, you managed to also recover.
All right, so we have Bren, Kivik, Ferb, Rick, and Coral.
So the camels are all very hungry.
Yeah. Well, they for each camel had their own food on them. So the ones that were lost don't diminish the camel's food at all. They just took their own food with them, basically. So
fine.
They're fine.
You're still gonna have to take it out of their packs and feed it to them. They can't do that.
No, I know. We'll immediately kind of start doing that.
Okay.
And organizing them. So we lost with the other 3. We'd say it's sort of taking inventory with the 3 that were completely lost. we lost camping gear. We lost Koo's gear.
Yep.
And Pay's gear.
No.
And we lost the other climbing gear. So we have just the 1 set of climbing gear left.
So I'm gonna have Pay make a roll. This is gonna be like I want a navigation kind of roll. So what would that be, like nature, I guess, for knowing
survival?
where you are? Survival, maybe. Yeah, I'll let you choose. You're a traveler.
Can I use cartography?
Yeah. Is that a skill? I don't believe that's one of the 17 skills in 5e, is it?
No,
Well,
but it's a tool.
it's a proficiency. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well of course it's going to apply here. Yes.
I got 20 total.
Okay, so from what you know of this not entirely reliable map that you're originally following, you estimate you're about maybe 3 days from the mountains and about 1 day or less from an oasis, a main stopping point that was mentioned in Morse's letter. But this map is also kind of inaccurate, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna head towards the oasis.
Are you going to tell everybody else this? You just, see you guys.
I'm gonna gesture and say, "All right, we got to go that way," and just start walking in that direction.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm still looking at our supplies here. I say, honestly, we might make it to the settlements near the mountains, because we know there are settlements on the other side of this desert, right?
There is an outpost. Yep, and Ku can
Yeah.
confirm this. There is an
Right.
outpost town right there.
Yeah.
There's a bigger city further in, but there's an outpost town.
If we might be able to make it to the outpost with what we have, but we would be much more secure if we stopped for water. Our food isn't too bad. We can get by with if we ration a bit. We can be we can be fine with the food. The water is going to be the biggest issue, unless we're prepared to drink that bone water. We do have 2 casks of or one. What was it? No, 2 casks of that bone water from that that lake that we picked up. I'm not sure I'm ready to drink that yet.
Well, I say we press on. I mean, the sooner we can get to some form of.
At this point, if we split up the supplies amongst the remaining camels, or at least 3 of them, we can actually ride the camels and make much better time. We can probably cut our travel time significantly if we're riding on the camels rather than walking with them. And whereas we are so close to the mountains at this point, we could just go straight there.
Keep in mind, though, Bay did not tell you how close they were to the mountains, just that she was going that way.
Anything would be better
That's
than
true.
being
Oh,
in the sand.
And you, Kaylin, do know about the oasis.
Yeah.
You also know, especially Ku, you know that the outpost is called Lowe's Stand.
Lowe's Stand.
Yeah, LO''S.
Yeah. Well, what does everyone else think? I think it could be worth. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, we better catch up to Pei. She's ready to up and get on out of here.
Has she started to walk away from us?
Mm-hmm.
I think
yeah.
so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to take the time then to redistribute the remaining supplies over the camels we have.
Okay. So you guys take about an hour to
Yeah.
redistribute the supplies, and the camels have to eat.
Yeah.
And you can relay. You can just note it however it makes sense to you, and then you guys
I get it.
carry on.
And I figure, and with the food, with less food and supplies and all that redistributed, we can actually do. We should actually be able to do really well. Like I said, riding. We shouldn't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about overburdening the camels at this point with our own weight. So
You can ride them. Just note what camel you're riding.
yeah.
So if you're going to do that, I want you to make sure you note it. If you're going to ride one, tell me what camel you're on, or at least note what camel you're on.
I'll do some quick math here. Okay. Well, I'll work out the exact math about what came out as what afterwards. But I say I know. Well, Ku and Pei, you both lost. Well, did Pei really walk away? Just so I know.
I mean, if you guys stopped to feed, then she probably stopped and is looking at you. And when
If you guys are riding the camels, though, you could catch up to her anyway.
Yeah. Well, I had a question for her. So if she's here, I'll ask her. If she's not, then I won't.
I mean, if I notice that you're starting to rearrange the gear, she'll probably come back.
Okay. So I say, well, Pei, you and Ku were obviously lost personal items in this disaster. Although I think it highly unlikely it would find anything. Is it something that you want? Is it something you feel the pressure to look for before we press on?
The only thing I lost were some tools and the clothes that I bought for the mountain.
We should be able to resupply before then. Ku, what do you say?
They were simply possessions.
That's a good attitude. Very well. Then is everyone for the for heading for the oasis then?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm anxious.
All right. Cool.
That is fine with me.
And Pei has already made her intentions plain, so we mount the camels and we head.
Okay.
Which camel am I on? Just so I know whose camel I lose.
It's up to you. You can pick 1 through 5.
I'll pick 3.
Okay, Ferb. You're on Ferb. All right. I'll just mark that here. Cool. I'll ride on Coral. Okay. So 1, 2, and 5 are left. Vicus, who are you on?
1.
Okay.
Just point me in the right direction.
And Pei. 2 or 5?
Dealer's choice. She doesn't really care.
All right. Well, we'll put you in the middle, so you're on 2. And we'll just have the last one kind of tied. I'm next to last, and then we'll have the last one kind of tied with a rope to mine, and we're tagging her along.
So 4 and 5 are tied together.
Correct.
Okay. You guys carry on. The heat continues to beat down. You continue on your sand trek. The mounds get slightly less, it becomes sort of flatter. It's not flat, obviously, because it's just ripply instead of duny. But it becomes flatter, so it's easier to see at a distance. And as you guys march along throughout the afternoon, the heat just continues to pound down on you. So I'm going to have you all make me con rolls, please.
Okay.
The DC is going to be 6. This is for heat exhaustion.
18.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no problem.
If you got less than 6, you gain a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
You take the time to reapply your salves, as you have to do a few times a day. You stop for a brief respite and continue on. And when there's about, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say when I stop and take my time, I'm gonna use my navigator's tools to try and see if I can get a more accurate bead on where we are and range to the mountains. We obviously can see the mountains at this point. We're close enough.
They're like northwest.
Yeah, so I kind of collaborate with Pei for while we're resting to sort of
now to
mark the
in your navigator tools. Do you have some kind of eyeglass or something like that?
I do. I have a spyglass, but I also have the navigator tools, which have a sextant and all that stuff. I am proficient.
Okay.
in.
So when you look in the direction you're traveling through the eyeglass, you notice something interesting. You see trees. Looks like palm trees.
Oh, cool. All right. I say, look there, the oasis. Oh.
Ku and Vicus can't see it with the naked eye, but Pei, you can because you got those things, right?
Yep.
Those lenses. Yeah, you can see it now. You can see that there's a handful of palm trees.
But what I was trying to do with the navigator's tools basically was to get a better idea of how far we are away from, the edge of the desert. Now,
right. Okay. So you estimate about 3 days from this position. Pei, the oasis, which is about a quarter mile distant at this point, is about 10 miles off where the map said it was.
All right. Well, I'll make a note of where it actually is.
I look at excellent. This I kind of point at the map. This is going to be a valuable map. Well done.
I appreciate you saying so. It's my goal to make a compendium of accurate maps.
Well, you're off to a good start. And I suppose once we're rested, unless anyone has any objections, we'll head off toward the oasis now that it's in sight.
Yep. If anyone
I-
gains any benefits from a short rest, you can consider that happened.
I will every now and then kind of take a peek. We've had bad luck coming up on these things, like with undead creatures and other things. So I'm a little, maybe a little gun shy at this point. So every now and then I'm taking a peek to make sure see if there's anyone at the oasis or if I see any beasts or anything.
So as you guys approach this walking speed, you eventually can see that there is about maybe a half a dozen or a dozen palm trees sort of scattered out in a loose area. There's definite movement of many kinds in the area. It looks like people. They're wearing all wearing. You can get more detail when you get closer, but this is
you cut out there for a sec. They're all wearing what?
Robes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do they look anything like the robes that I took from that tomb or whatever it was?
No, but they all look very similar. They're all they look white at this distance.
Yeah. I just observe them for a moment just to make sure that they're not just skeletons like going through the motions that they did in life.
Okay, so again, you walk closer, maybe you're 150 feet now, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a tiny village, if you will.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe 60.
Okay.
Well, desert people are generally fairly hospitable, so I sigh with relief, perhaps prematurely, and we'll approach it in as friendly a manner as possible.
Okay, so when you get closer, you can see that I got a map for you too. When you get closer, you can see that there are, as I said, people moving about. You don't really see much in the way of structures. Maybe one very small wood and stone building.
Okay.
But there is about 60 people there. They're wearing white robes with a hint of blue. You can see a figure in the closest palm tree to you. You can see a figure. He stands up in the tree. He's perhaps on some sort of small platform, and he holds up both arms straight up, and in each one is like a transparent blue scarf, and it's both flapping in the breeze. He just stands there and holds that up. You can see people moving about. It looks like they've noticed you.
Yep.
But it doesn't like get frantic or anything when that happens.
Yeah. I hold up my hand and just kind of give it a kind of a friendly wave, slow and
So the person standing in the tree with the two ribbons, they wave their arms to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right, and the scarves move in the wind.
Now I'm proficient with the clava, and I know that some people have used that for signaling, for messaging. Would that proficiency include any knowledge of that?
I'm going to say no in this case because, well, I can't tell you why yet, but the information is unique to this area. So.
Okay, fair enough. All right, but they don't seem frantic or anything like that. Like it's a warning or a threat or anything like that. It's just
you don't see them doing anything that you would interpret as threatening. But
okay, then yeah, I guess
maybe just one of us should dismount and approach them just to parlay, just to ensure that we don't mean them any harm and they don't mean us any harm.
That's a good idea. Allbold, how are you doing?
Very,
Very badly, I suspect. Sir.
Poorly, sir. The heat seems to be getting to me. I'm sweating quite a bit. I'm not as young as you, sir.
After this, I'm not as young as I was either. Very well. I'll get down off the camel and I say just hold back for a moment, and I will move forward. I will approach.
Okay, so the rest of you are hanging back like 50 feet out kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that surrounding this whole area, there's something of a demarcation. It's tiny, let's say fist-size stones of different colors. Red, blue, orange, green. They seem to be, they make a sort of rough circle area that encircles two oases, one larger than the other. You can see one building at the far side of one of the oases, not on the shore. A hut, really. And then there's a few like structures that are like T-shaped structure or an H-shaped structure. You're not quite sure what it's for at the far end of the oases.
Okay.
Very simple structures. As you approach, you can see that the figure in the tree with the scarves. He is on a small wooden platform.
Yeah.
As you approach the front of the oases, 4 of the figures detach and approach you. 1 female, 3 male. They're all wearing robes that are white and a little bit of blue in them. You can see a lot of like flecks of blue in them. Their hands are joined in their robes, like they're hidden, but like they're front of like billowy sleeves. You know, that sort of, I don't know, like it's almost like a Vulcan robe.
Sure.
I'm picturing.
Yeah.
So as I said, there's 4 of them, and I'm colorblind. So they're medium brown skinned, swarthy.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Dark hair, and the woman, they're all about 5 feet or so tall. And as you get a little closer, you can see that their ears are slightly pointed. They're probably half elves, all of them.
Okay.
And
I stop. I do stop like just outside the stones. By the way, I just step in, just because I don't know what they mean. It could be some kind of. I don't want to violate any customs here.
Fair enough.
Although, do I remember any stories about this? Because I mean, I knew of the Oasis. Does any of this ring a bell with me? Like stories that I was told?
So what you remember from Morse's letter was that the people at the Oasis were nice, but they were tradition was very important to them.
Okay.
Okay, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he basically just said, "Be polite."
That is my intention.
So 4 of them approach you.
So in other words, don't let pay talk. Check. Got it.
You're funny looking. So 4 of them approach. You can see that 2 of them are, in fact, armed. They have spears that are about 4 feet long that they're holding vertically in front of them, like along the length of the body, straight up and down.
Yeah.
2 hands on each of them. So 2 at the side have these spears. The 2 in the middle, a man and a woman, they have their hands folded into their robes. The woman is slightly taller than the man, and she greets you, as I said, swarthy skin. It's hard to estimate the age of a half elf, but definitely past middle age. She says she speaks to you.
Okay.
Greetings.
I bow my head slightly. Greetings.
Welcome to the Royal.
Well, thank you. We are travelers from the far side of the desert. We've had difficulties, of course, but we were hoping to replenish our water at this at this sacred place.
I am a FIFA. I lead these people. Asan, we have welcomed visitors before. Asan will show you around. She gestures to the male at the left. and explain the rules to you.
Mm-hmm. May
Please
my
tell your friends they are welcome.
Thank you. So I okay.
Just listen carefully to the rules.
Of
Enjoy your
course.
time here. And she turns and walks away, and the two guys with spears sort of escort her. So Hassan, he's shorter. He's about 5, maybe 5 feet tops, or 4'10". He's mostly bald on top. He's still got some hair left, and you can see his pointed ears. His skin's a little bit cracked and weathered. As I said, he's medium brown skin in color, and he smiles at you.
I smile back and nod. That's as well as we could be expected, I guess. And I'll turn back and wave my companions in.
So he is going to ask you to dismount while you're in here.
So I'll kind of walk out then and meet them before they reach, and I'll say they're friendly enough. They do take their traditions very seriously. So they just be polite, and they do ask that we don't ride our camels in the place. He's going to let us know about any of the rules that we have to follow, but by all accounts, they're reasonable people as long as we're respectful and follow the rules. So I'll help lead the camels into there. I say, is there any particular place we should tie them?
He points to the smaller oasis to the left. Mayamiji is for animals.
Excellent.
They may drink from there.
Yeah, so actually, I'll have Allbold. I say, Allbold, would you mind bringing the camels over there, please?
Very good, sir. Wanted the tour.
Yeah, Alfred never gets into the action.
So he walks away, he leads the camels toward the smaller oases. You can see people moving about. There's very few children, but not none.
Yeah.
All are half elves. All are wearing these same robes.
But they don't really
simple sandals.
But they don't have much in the way of shelters, right?
You just see one tiny hut. Yep.
Yeah.
But you're only at the very edge, and this place is about 250 yards across. So
yeah,
take the tour. Maybe you'll learn something.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll say sure. So please show us around.
This half elf goes up to each of you in turn. Pei, Ficus, and Ku. I am Asan. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Ficus.
He nods.
I am Pei Rightmap, a cartographer.
He smiles. Please listen carefully to our rules and ask any questions freely. So he starts walking, kind of like walking the perimeter, but not the very perimeter. He walks like the inner perimeter, kind of showing you around. We welcome visitors here from time to time, but visitors may only stay one day. It is said that any who are born here never leave, and any who are not never stay.
I see.
Well,
Is there anything we could offer you? We have knowledge from the other side of the desert. We have.
He smiles at you, and he nods. As I said, amicably. Yes, we can discuss trade later with Afifa. I am Ehsan to show you around.
Oh, of course. So we'll keep following. Take the
So
tour.
he walks
We're
towards
walking.
the smaller oasis.
We're
and
walking.
He says,
We're walking.
he says, "This is my amaji. This is for animals. This you may touch freely." He points across to the larger oasis. That is Takomaji. No one but us may touch it. If you seek water, you may have water, but we will bring you water. It is their pleasure to give you water. In this way, they serve Arroya.
Huh. Very well.
And who is Arroya?
Truly, you do not know of her.
I tense.
Hafifa could probably tell the story better than I. But it is she who brought water to the world. Long ago, when the world was new, it was dry, and life could not thrive. Arroya saw it, and she was sad, and she cried, and her tears became the oases, the ponds, the rivers, the lakes, bringing life to the world.
When she cried, did she also make the oceans, or did that come later?
Yes.
Have any of you ever seen the ocean by any chance, or have you? As you say, you've always lived here.
It is told of in our texts, and we have seen it in visions, but no, we have not seen it. We may not leave.
I have some wonderful stories and songs that I could share with you of the ocean, if you're interested.
Yes, perhaps later there will be eating together and a celebration. We may exchange gifts there.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll continue on with the tour.
Okay,
I'm
so
curious if those sticky things are at the far side there.
So you see that there are a few little patches of greenery here and there. Cacti with prickly pear cacti with berries. There's some short reedy flowers, which you might recognize as sage. There's agave leaves and mesquite plants as well. The one building, which is small, is made almost entirely of stone. And you can see that it's a bakery, and you can see them making a kind of a flat bread.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Feel free to speak to any of the druids here. You may ask them anything. We have no secrets. If you wish water, merely ask and water will be brought from you. Please do not touch the Komaji.
Of course. You have our word.
Okay. So he says to you, I have duties I must attend to.
Yes,
but
please.
If you have any questions, you may seek me out or anyone else.
Is there any place you would prefer us to take our rest? We're rather tired and would like to sit down, eat,
The meal hour is in but an hour.
Oh.
Perhaps you would join us.
Oh, excellent. That we most surely will. And I kind of let him go.
The camels to the far side of the oasis.
Okay. As soon as he's gone, I kind of take everyone aside. It's like maybe perhaps they know something about that crystal place we were in. By the way, did anyone make any kind of I didn't even think of this. Did anyone react at all to my appearance? Like the kind of stony sort of.
Not noticeably.
Okay.
Not noticeably.
All right. Still, if they've been here for generations and they have visions and so forth, they might know something of that place. Though I wouldn't go mentioning that we defiled it just yet. Just that we saw it. Let's start there. before we admit to doing something that might get us, killed in some sort of horrible ritual.
Would anyone like to do anything? As I said, there are half elves around, but not. They're not standing beside you. You don't see anyone openly watching you. You're certainly attracting a few looks, but nothing that appears menacing.
I'm just gonna find a comfortable place to sit down for a while, at least till dinner time, because I'm been riding a camel for hours. Okay. So I just want to lay down under in the shade of a tree, and
Yep. You don't even have to roll for that.
Well,
make a roll. You pull a muscle in your back when you lay down. Harsh GM.
Now they're because they're like speaking of they've got druids and religious overtones. I was going to take a rest, but actually I'm quite interested to talk to them. So I asked Assam, where are may I speak to the druids?
Yeah, Hassan has walked away, and they are all druids. Everyone here is a druid.
Okay. I'm going to reach into my satchel and pull out my animal skin, where on the interior of it, it's got pretty much like hieroglyphics. It's not magical or anything, but they're like pictographs of remnants of his religion, and I'm going to find a random druid and talk to them about their beliefs and show them some of mine and kind of converse with them.
No, I think that's excellent, and we got lots of role-playing opportunities here. But I'm also aware it's getting late. Am I on the right hour for some of you? So I think maybe we should stop it here before we get into some deep role-play and some more information exchange.
Yeah, because a lot of my play here is going to involve. Because she said that they had vision showing them the ocean.
Yeah,
and that's kind of sticking with Ku at the moment, especially with this being a source of fresh water that they haven't had in a while, and maybe he'll just do some visioning himself.
Yep.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So it's about an hour before the supper hour in the game, and that's where we're going to stop it.
All right.
All right. Thanks, anyone who's watching, and we'll do this again in 2 weeks or so.
Okay.